Hello and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to compare the twisted bow to the toxic blowpipe at Bandos. Here in this video we are going to use these setups. Just full void range, the necklace of anguish, as accumulator, archer's ring and pegation boots. The twisted bow has a base bonuses of 70 ranged attack and 80 range strength when used with the dragon arrows. The toxic blowpipe has 78 ranged attack and 60 range strength when used with dragon darts. If we add up the bonuses in the middle to buff, we get for the twisted bow 109 attack and 85 strength, and the bow has a speed of 3 seconds per hit on rapid. If we look for a toxic blowpipe with 117 attack and 65 strength, and on rapid it has a speed of 1.2 seconds. So why am I looking at it on Bandos? Because Bandos has a really high mage level and the twisted bow scales on mage level, because it gets better the higher the mage level of the opponent is. So I could look at Sarah, but I'm not sure how to calculate chins on which are thrown on the minion and then splashed to Sarah. This makes it stronger than only using, for example, a crossbow there. Then there's Chad, but there's no real use in Chad because a Chad kill usually only takes like less than a minute with a toxic blowpipe already, and the whole time is taken doing all the waves. I could also talk about Prime at DKs, but Prime is usually killed faster than the DK's respawn, and thus the twisted bow won't give an increase compared to the toxic blowpipe. So let's get into the calculations. So first we need to calculate the maximum base hit. For this I took the formulas from the forum. Forum post is in the description. So the max hit is 0.5 plus A times bracket open B plus 64 bracket close divided by 640, where A is the virtual level and B is the range strength bonus. First we need to calculate the virtual level. To calculate the virtual level, or also called effective level, we have to take our range level from our interface, which is 112 when using a range pod and having 99 range. Then we multiply it with the rigor bonus, which is 1.23, and round that down. So we get 137. Then we have to add the stance bonus, but because we are doing it on rapid, there's nothing. Then we have to add up 8, we get 145. And then we have to multiply with 1.1 twice for the void bonus and round down after each of those two. By the way, the floor function here just means round down. So then in the end we get 174 as our effective level A. Now we put our virtual or effective level and the range strength bonus. Remember, range strength bonus also comes from the necklace, which now has 5 bonus, into the formula. So for the twisted bow we then get 41, you can look at the formula on the screen right now, and for the toxic blowpipe we get 35. You can look at the formula on the screen as well. For the attack and defense roll, so our attack roll of our blowpipe or twisted bow and the defense roll of the NPC we are attacking, we have to use this formula, which is maximum roll is A times bracket open B plus 64 bracket closed, where A is the effective level and B is the accuracy bonus. Since rigor gives less accuracy bonus than damage, we have to calculate the effective level again, also because of void. So first take the 112 multiplied by 1.2 for the accuracy bonus of rigor and round that down. That gives us 134. So since we are on rapid, we don't have to add any stance bonus from the combat interface. But we have to add up the 8 as always, and we get 142. And then we have to multiply with the void range bonus, but here only once because it's accuracy and not damage. And round that down and we get 156 effective level for our attack. So now that we calculated our effective level A and we already have the attack bonus B from the first slide in this video, we can put both into the formula and we get an attack roll of the twisted bow of 26,988, and we get a max attack roll for the toxic blowpipe of 28,236. So both are calculated on screen right here. You can confirm that if you want. Now that we know that we want to calculate our damage per second against Bandos, we need his mage level, this is 280, we need his defense level, this is 250, and we need his range def bonus, which is 90. So now we can read out of the graph, you can see on the bottom right corner that the damage multiplier is 2.25 and the accuracy is about 1.4 at 280 mage level. So out of this we get a max hit of 92 and a max accuracy roll of 37,783. Now that we know that we are fighting Bandos, we also need to calculate his defense roll. Here we can use for the virtual level 250 plus 9, which is 259. I don't really know where that comes from, but all NPCs just have 9 added to their defense level. Then for B we have 90 because that's his range defense, and we get a max defense roll of 39,886. Now that we have the attack roll and defense roll numbers, we can put them into the hit chance formula. And because our defense roll is higher than the attack roll, we have to use formula 2, which is attack roll over 2 times defense roll plus 1. So we get for the twisted bow a hit chance of 47.36% and for the blowpipe a hit chance of 35.39%. If you want to know how this is calculated, it's on the screen right now. Read it, confirm it for yourself so you can check it. So now that we have all the numbers, a max hit of 92 with the twisted bow, a hit chance of 47.36% with the twisted bow, and a time per hit of 3 seconds with the twisted bow, we can calculate the damage per second. This is our accuracy or hit chance multiplied by our max hit divided by twice the time. The divided by 2 comes from our average hit, if we hit, will be half of 92. So we get a damage per second of 7.2. We do exactly the same thing with the blowpipe with a max hit of 35 and a hit chance of 35.39% and a time per hit of 1.2 seconds. And we get a damage per second of 5.16. But wait, so far we only have done the damage calculations that most of the people who know about old school would do. But the problem is we forgot about effects of overkill. So for example, if the monster only has 10 HP left and if we hit a 90 or would hit a 90, we lose 80 damage and we can't calculate that into our damage per second. Because of that, someone wrote a paper on April 3rd of last year. His name is Nukalave, and there he put this formula. The whole paper is about 4 pages. You can read it if you want, and if you are interested, it's also in the description. And if we use this formula, you can see everything on screen that is needed for it. We get for the twisted bow a damage output of 6.4 damage per second, and for the blowpipe a damage output of 4.93 damage per second. Remember, if you look at the formula, that's for one single hit, so we have to divide by the time for one hit, so we can say how big our DPS is. So if we now divide the DPS of the twisted bow by the DPS of the blowpipe, we get 1.298. This is a 30% increase in DPS on Bandos. Now you might be, what the fuck, power creep, fucking shit game, shit mods, they know shit, let's nerf it. But to be honest, It's the insignia drop from raids. It's like the most amazing thing you can get. If they remove the twisted bow, there's nothing really amazing there anymore. It's very good for Bandos. It's surely good for Sarah, because Sarah got or Ciliana got a mage level of 300. But I'm not sure how to calculate in the chins you throw and then the thing dies, and I'm not sure how to actually give you a good calculation on that. Because of that I only did Bandos. It's also amazing against Chad, but the problem at Chad is a Chad kill takes like less than a minute, and you do a 30-minute waves before, at least if you're a really high leveled player. So I don't know if it's really worth it to consider that a big power creep, because for everyone who can afford a twisted bow, he shouldn't have problems killing Chad anyway. It's really good against Prime at DKs, but the problem there is you kill Prime usually faster with a blowpipe already than the other ones respawn, so there's no problem. Only in the first round, when you need to kill them as fast as possible, you could kill it faster with a twisted bow now. It's surely good at some raids bosses, but I'm not sure there, because not all the stats of those bosses were posted in the wiki. So if you are doing raids and you walk around some new bosses that aren't listed with stats on the wiki, please post the stats on the wiki. It's really helpful for other players. But I see no real use outside of these places for the bow. So, and it won't change too much. It might make Bandos kills a little bit faster, but in long term this won't change too much. So if we nerf it now, we can alk it as well. So in my opinion, 30% increased DPS at Bandos, better at Sarah maybe, not sure against Chins. Not really good on all the other bosses. I went through the full list of all bosses on the wiki, and I only found this ones as really good. Okay, now that we did all these calculations, if you watched everything, you can do all those DPS calculations yourself. Isn't that amazing? You don't have to listen to those retards anymore. You can just calculate it and waste hours on it like I did. Like, what the fuck, man? Putting all this shit into Camtasia took me ages. I should edit those images somewhere else, but I can put them nicely together here. So, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and bye.